Hello everyone and welcome to another match of the 2022 Roulette Rivals World Championship. This time from Group G, it is Frivolous versus BluntsNBeatz for a quite exciting and crucial almost elimination slash promotion match, because currently these players are 3rd and 5th respectively with 4 points between them. Blunts has 16 points from 5 matches, Frivolous has 12 points from 5 matches. This is their second to last game for each, and it is around the 20-point mark where you would expect players to advance. So should they win here, I imagine they would be looking very promising to stay in the top 4, and should they lose here, they get a very tall order ahead of them. But that is going to be decided over the next 3 maps. We are starting in Sapienza, chosen by Frivolous, and staying in Season 1, at least for one more map. BluntsNBeatz has chosen Hokkaido, and we will start to see in just 15 seconds how this very close and very even matchup of these two will end up. On a personal note, they are my group mates here. I'm also from Group J, so just really curious to see. Basically, we will see which one, if not 2 of them, will advance, so curious to see very much. Silvio Caruso, Screwdriver in suit, and Francesca De Santis, Old X as Plague Doctor. So it's very simple in terms of disguises, but that Old X will be taking some time to grab and to transport, especially if you want to take a guard disguise, which is slower but safer. I think people have made it work with suit start from the morgue to just transport the dimension, but you have to be awfully sure of that to make it happen first try. Frivolous is the first one to appear on the map after similar amount of planning time, but this is the agency pickup, just a pistol they are going back for. And this is the big deal here, because Blunts is starting in the morgue, and if he can get this first try, then I think we do have the fastest chat here, but this is going to be requiring a lot of body shots going right, and Blunts also gets this screwdriver from the same shed, so not even a slight detour to get it from another place. The Old X should not fit in a briefcase, to my knowledge. It's just, I think, just the Sapper's X of all the X's. But we'll have to see if that works out here. Welcome Joker, welcome Raiders. That was a really exciting match between Goulet and Rocky Horse, and I think you all know the result, and I think I saw the result from the chat, but we are talking about another match here, and the start of another exciting one. Blunts is transporting the Old X, gets all the whooshes, but in most of these times it should just be the panic whoosh and not the compromised or hunted action. This is like the London Marathon with 1,000 people running around 47, and I just hope that they don't stop panicking before Blunts gets to the mansion and he's inside. This is some extraordinary transportation. Minute 20 in. Oh, don't lose it now to the peekaboo. Minute 25, he has perfect timing for anything he wants. He's still in the suit. The Plague Doctor is just a few seconds of detour and already has a screwdriver. After all this, Blunts really has the potential to make this happen in less than 4 minutes in game time. And Mendo's here as well, so it's the Soviet versus Mikolor's match finished as well. So you guys just let me know which groups have or have not been discussed, and we can just go over them when they end. Blunts with a really impressive action here. He's unsure whether he wants to get the Plague Doctor. He really can, he really should, but he's instead going down to the lab area. I wasn't really looking if Franimal moved in any way. And to true BluntsNBeatz fashion, we don't have minimap, which is fine, but we don't have the objectives on and all times, which I'm not sure how the rules are about that. It's not something that he should pause about, but of course it's easier to cast when we know what's going on. Blunts with no object is completed, obviously, and Frivolous is now going for the Frenny Eye, so I think that was an EMP miss for Blunts, but now gets the virus. That's another close swoosh and another big one, which will be moving Francesca in a way. He's looking for the Silvio isolation. The suit is here as well as the screwdriver, but I imagine at least one trank would be nice to have here, of which he has two. Luckily the EMP bounced away, so that won't be used for the remainder of this run. I think this is a good angle for the brick. Oh, but the guard sees it. Frivolous needed a screwdriver, and oh my. Oh, the random guard is here, is entering the area. That guard is just throwing the hell out of Frivolous, but gets the second one out and down. And I think nothing should be in Frivolous's way to get the kill. Blunts by a few seconds. Oh, so it's really hard to see if it's a KO or not. It was a KO for Blunts. And now it's a missed throw, which will be followed by the actual kill. It's just a bit too few of a heads-up display for me to cast on, but should be able to figure that one out. Frivolous with still no... Oh, he has everything for the Silvio kill, indeed. And then the Plague Doctor is of course in the observatory as well. But Free is doing this detour for the old X, which Blunts didn't, and I don't want to say Blunts is done, but Frenny is going towards the lab area now. You can see it on the minimap. It's not part of her regular moving. Oh, and Frivolous gets unconscious witness. Wasn't quite in the cover to finish off that animation, so they were spotted last second. It was already Blunts' game to lose, but it is just a bit of waiting to go, and well, the biggest challenge at this point is to stand on the right side of this door, which I assume he's fine. Yeah, I'm not 100%. I have to trust Blunts here because he's obviously done it much more time than I do. And yep, 1, 2, 3. The two guards are here and can use a trank for starters. No blunt item for the Blunts player. Just meant to be a pun there. This will of course cause some panic, and who would even know what's going on with the other NPCs around here. Gets the old X and the kill as well. Back to green guns, and it is just the drop remaining. Not quite the 4 minutes, which looked like for a moment that Blunts could have just got the 2.5 minute timing in the first kill, and then within 1 minute the other kill as well. He switched up the order, but didn't cost him too much. He takes Sapienza, taking Frivolous' map. There we go. First map done. And well, if both of them did pick Season 1 shorter maps, then I don't think it's a huge deal for Frivolous, but it is now Blunts' pick here, so it's looking likely that he can take this lead and the win, which would be really important from this group. $5:47 in-game time. I personally do have to agree with T-North, welcome as well. It just felt like that Frenny 230 followed by just such a convenient Silvio kill would have resulted in a better in-game time. But I have Blunts as a person who would be really familiar with strats like this, so all power to him, and he was going to be faster than Frivolous either way, who did not go for the World X to start the spin with. But yeah, it is Hokkaido now, where it is even more likely that players will go for different strats, or different starts for that matter. With the right spin, it can be just a really open one between the Gondola Isolation, the Yuki Seeker in Portman suit, or the Sauna, just to mention the 3 most frequent isolations. Of course, there is even more to tackle on there. Soder's is Soder's. Do you consider him a target or an objective? Which he officially is, but we do have to treat him the same as any other working and breathing NPC. So there's obviously having his own limited set of conditions, mostly shooting him through the ceiling or a glass panel. But we'll have to see if this skill will be one of them. To all the people who arrived during Sapienza, this is fairly important for Group G. Frivolous was 5th before this match, BluntsNBeatz was 3rd before this match, both of them with 2 games to go and just 4 points apart. Now 6 points apart because Blunts was ahead. Should Friv take the next 2 maps anyway, it would be a really close final round, and they are hovering around the elimination mark, with Blunts of course a bit above right now and Frivolous trying to catch up. And this isn't even the only Group G match remaining for the evening, as I'm trying to bring up the matches tab. 15 minutes from now, Astory versus Sparkles will begin. Sparkles looking to finish 2nd in the group. Astory currently 6th, if I'm not mistaken. So they are looking for an even bigger catch-up against this Wonder rookie. Just some Morg clear out for Blunts, who did start Morg in Sapienza and would claim this rare feat of having multiple Morg starts in the same match. What would be the other Morg start for the trilogy? Scale has a Morg, but you can't start in there, and I think that's about it for World of Assassination. Please let me know if it's too loud for you guys. Of course, it will get more silent when Blunts is not in combat and shooting people, but it should be a right balance at the moment. It should be a nice spin in 20 seconds. Should Blunts win, of course, he's the winner of the match, but especially today, every single map counts. And no one should be giving up just because they are not winning or tying or losing. Thank you, Barb. Then, yeah, we can go to Hokkaido then, which is, oh my, Eric Soder's throw the heart in the trash can as resort security. Yuki Yamazaki falling object as the baseball player. The dreaded combo of hostile disguise, Yuki Yamazaki falling object, which really was controversial this time last year. But now there's really nothing in the rules to allow or not allow a spin. It is on the legal conditions list, so it must be kept if it comes up, and it sure did. Frivolous wasting no time using the micro explosive for a remote falling object, and Blunt starting chef for the sushi lure, which is I think the 2 main approaches for this Yuki kill, and they are very right to not worry about Sodas just yet. Kenny, are you talking about me? Because I did play this spin a year ago and I was not impressed. That's yeah, there we go, Kenny. Kenny does remember. And I think some others do. But now it's for Frivolous and Blunts to tackle the spin, and just so much more confidence this year, and first try could be on the hands as well. I mean, Blunt's technically on the second try, but let's not really count that, just running into an enforcer, and Frivolous couldn't get the throw for the micro explosive. He didn't end up ripping, but it's just not something that they wanted to experiment with too much, so it could be costing some time for them. Blunts with the sushi lure is on a timer, but luckily with Solar still alive, the NPC cycles in the hospital aren't messed up enough. Of course, Blunts is going to be trespassing as the chef, but has the Trank, has the silence pistol, so it should really be fine to make their way up there. Blunts is looking to get to the baseball player the long way around. Not really sure how many NPCs are enforcing 47 up here, but I would imagine not one or two, but he could sneak around. A flash phone will be luring this bodyguard. So Blunts can get a non-trespassing disguise and then infiltrate the baseball player, or well, the hospital director's office, but it's basically only for the baseball player. Some cycles to wait out here for Blunts, but he's going to accelerate that with the briefcase placement, which will get the guard out of the way. I think that it was an attempt, I didn't know about this one. I think it shouldn't open the door if the bodyguard is close enough, but the way it was placed, I think there was a play there. So now it is just Blunts looking to get the angle. And I think he's going back towards near the helipad, burning through the key hackers, but I think this is the last one he needs. And yeah, this should be a clear area for him. Sadly, it can be sometimes hostile, or it is hostile, but can be whooshed by some. Yuki gets there, and there's the hostile kill. So now it's Frivolous' turn, though with not the same approach. There is no sushi lure going on there. Yeah, that was really impressive, Blunts. It's kind of nonchalant how everything worked out with that plan. It's not flashy, just clean, and very impressive, because this can really mean the win for him. It is still a trash can kill remaining, and he's going to be trespassing in the morgue, which is made very hard by these two morgue doctors, and he's managed to dodge them, which means it's only now this area to go through. One shot to lure one outside, the ceiling lure. I think the other one will be a Trank before the door closes. It is so close, you can see the whoosh, and the bodyguard was looking towards BluntsNBeatz, and I think we got the target lockdown on Frivolous. The remote approach did not kill her, so it seems it was Blunts' lead already, and Blunts gets the second kill. And we'll be getting the exit there, just 4.5 minutes into his spin, just 5.5 into the actual spin real time. Blunts will be winning the map and the match, regardless of what this third map will be, or the spin, or the result there. GG. And this is the territory where we might be very confidently talking about Blunts advancing to the final 32. I think I will hold myself back for just one more map, and I did not know about this one, but I am certainly happy to see New York as their RNG map. One more target to kill. It is not Dartmoor, but it is a powerful woman with the secondary objective to collect as well. It just doesn't want to work out for Friv. Gets the lamp exploded. I think that should be lethal from below. But to offer some consolation, I think if that kill worked for Friv, the result would not have changed. Bluntz was just so solid there, and I think this is something that everyone learned from the last 10 minutes, that if you see falling object, then I think regardless of the disguise, but especially if you're hostile, Sushiller is the play. And if you want to know about, if you want to know more about the Sushiller, I think Greori, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, has a very exhaustive and extensive document circulating around in the RR channels. It might not be pinned or might not have been used lately, but these are just the really nice additions from the community when people just go all the extra mile to be really detailed about some aspects of the game. And Bluntz himself is a author of document like this, the Miami race manipulation doc, which is, I don't want to oversell it, but I think it's at least 10 pages of things you can do to the race to end at a certain time and do the right isolations on Sierra after. Well then, one more New York to go here, and as much as Bluntz is looking to get some vault isolation, I would be really impressed to see if this area of the map comes into play. It's hard for me to even curate a spin where you would be near this area. My hardest spins would be the burial dagger in the more unique disguises, because you get the burial dagger from security start, but if you get bank robber or if you have to start in suit, it's just such an interesting back and forth to get the item. I think other than that, it's just the accidents that are just a bit more different than the meta. A drowning with the seeker shot, the explosion accident where you never know if you should make it remote or not, the fall with the silence pistol distractions most of the time, can all just be some rare and unique combination, and Bluntz will be trying to see if he can stay alive before the spin comes. And we will have just one more condition to read out. And it's probably a map which is more important to Frivolous, who is certainly not out and won't be out even if he loses this map, but he really needs every point now to stay close to BluntsNBeatz. We have Athena Savalas' loud explosive weapon as an IT worker. Immediately I see Friv scrolling past the proxy C4, something that I could even make as well as a mistake.
This is the vault, 47. I'm really sorry, but the data core should be behind.
But otherwise, it's a quick loadout there. You can do this with the double shank. You start with one and you pick one to use as the agency pickup, and you just I'm not sure where I'm going with there, but you can start with the C4 and then steal two shanks, which is for the break there. Just really shocked by this IT there by Bluntz. Would make a great highlight if this was made into the final run. Has the disguise already, but this is out on Matteo, which doesn't even feel like a loss. You can get him after the 2-minute mark near the exit. So it's just all about getting to Athena. As Frivolous gets a restart there. Wasn't really sure if they wanted to get disguise or just isolate Athena. Friv gets the first disc and then will make their way all the way to the IT workers place. Just not the same way as Blunts did. Still a very viable approach. Blunts is now in the security hub and I think that's a frag grenade or at least a flash grenade. That will very nicely delete the evidence. Yeah, that also panics these two. And also all the way up to Fabian, who hears the gunshot, despite it's the first bullet that is shot nearby. And that's the first disc acquired. The second one is on Matteo. And the third one, of course, on Athena. But now it's the office clear out. And with the evidence deleted already, it should really just be the 3 tranks. Blunts has 0/4. Now that's a number you never see, of course, because of the extra IT trank. So Blunts can get away with using 3 as Friv, I think, gets spotted by Matteo himself. Oh. Or some guard who was near the area. Another cost restart for Friv, but Blunts is just impeccable today. Going to drag and hide one of the high security. I think all 3 were cornered, but it's not a big loss either way. Blunts now with detonator in hand is looking to make this as an exit kill, which is fine for this disguise since it will be allowed next to the CEO exit. It's just the fact that what will be a good angle for Matteo, because now it's the 3-minute mark and he will be closing in on this security hub. Yep, he's moving towards this area. Luckily no enforcers. You would have an enforcer if you're high security. This is in the safest angle, but Blunts keeps it green and I think Blunts will keep it sweeping. 3 maps played, 3 maps won, just need to get this last detonation done. Ideally, oh my goodness, he goes for it before the door, but doesn't open the door right. It's not the 3-second mark, but rather 6 or 7, but Athena doesn't get found in time and... Oh, that's just 4 stars! Blunts will have to replan the last frame, he went red. I really haven't seen anything like this. Blunts pressing detonation before opening the door, and he was so good to open the door, but somehow he didn't. And by the time he realized, and I think he still exited green, and it was just a few frames away from the 6-0 finish. Well then. On our end, I think it was a finish and a reject immediately by Yanni. We can give it a refresh just in case it was on our end, but it won't hinder Blunts in any way there. And should it come to a photo finish after all, this, which should be really intense, then the second finishing time would still be noticeable. Yep, there's the finished gone, and yeah, Frivolous suddenly, 1.5 minutes ahead, but he has a pistol instead of the second trank. And ideally you want to keep one for Fabian. Oh, that was such a sketchy whoosh there, but Frivolous stays yellow, not green this time. Uses both of those tranks here. I don't see a snail here, I don't see anything. So that will be a really tough last disc to get, but Frivolous can get the isolation. Athena is also leaving though, so this will be some interesting timing. I'm not sure at the high security we'll see. When will he see the bodies? It might just be benefiting Friv if he just opens the door so that the guard can see the bodies, and indeed. I think this makes sense to throw the KO. Throw the wrench for the KO as he's flying towards the high securities. Friv gets the lock on, gets the last KO. And Athena is now 2 closed doors away from everyone.
Just one to go.
So this will be a soundproof kill no matter when. Of course, considering or hoping for all the doors to be closed, but by now they should have closed automatically. But Frivolous in an incorrect disguise for now. Just wants to have a nice exit disguise there. He's just going ultra safe there, but the more and more time he takes, BluntsNBeatz can be closer to photo finish window. And Frivolous also doesn't want to detonate early. But how will they get the last disc?
Excellent work.
It is Fabian at the 4.5 minute mark. So I think he should be going back towards the top. At least Fabian is easier to isolate without a Trank around this time. But what an ending to this spin, as Blunts has all the 3 discs as well, and I think it's going to beat Friv to the punch. Because there's the kill, it is green. It is a green gun exit, but will it be a 5-star score? There's the Blunts finish. And I think after all this, I think Friv can't finish in time. 47 seconds on the mark. What might be a theoretical photo finish, I don't see changing the result. But what an extraordinary New York. With a close call, the almost finish of Blunts, the actual finish of Blunts, but of course it's illegal because it turned 4 stars in the last split second. And 47 seconds have passed. It is going to be a heartbreaker for Frivolous. So close to what he feels is so close to winning New York, but in reality, just so much is happening to Blunts, and eventually winning New York. For Frivolous' sake, let's see this run out. The prompt is not exactly there, sadly. Oh, Frivolous is not... Oh, imagine that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to show this one from Frivolous, but I think at least this is another 5-star finish, but we won't see it. Just GG's by Frivolous as well. Such a close New York. Such a close group as well, with a lot more results here. Mikolas and Soviet Dubov with their last and second to last match finished. They are now out of contention, but Frivolous can still make it to the top 4. With 1 match to go, he's 3 points behind Kenny. And after 6 matches, Blunts is currently 3rd, tied with Sparkles, who is playing right now against Astory, the last protagonist of this group, of this very exciting group. We are going to go right there, casted by Barbecue, for more Group G action and more Roulette Rivals World Championship action on this final week of the group stage. Thank you, Yanni, for editing this one again. GG's to, well, everyone who's been playing today, but especially Frivolous and Blunts for these last 3 maps. And thank you all for watching, and see you guys next time.